The Exorcist Believer is out right now, and here are my quick thoughts on what I liked and what I didn't like. The sound design is really good in this. I felt that there was a lot of times where it was cutting between shots and scenes, and the way that different sounds were mixed in together was really weird. Like, some of the things that was happening was like really subtle, maybe like a door closing or something, and it was being made into like this really creepy sound, and I liked how that was done. Sound design went hard. The cinematography is actually really good as well. I think the shots, there was a lot of shots that were really like long, where the camera didn't actually cut off, and you know, you're kind of waiting for something to happen. It might not happen, but it was still a nicely shot movie, and I kind of liked everything about that in terms of cinematography. And the makeup design is probably the best thing here. The way that the two girls look when they are possessed is just insane. It's insanely good. Like, their lips are chapped, and their face is just in bits, and their toes and their fingernails are just nuts. Ugh, it's disgusting, but they did a great job at that, and I have to say they probably aced it. 10 out of 10. Makeup department deserves a big round of applause for that. There is some creepy moments as well, but there's not as much as I wanted there to be, so let's go into the cons. It's just not scary enough. There's not enough scares, and I don't know why, but it was kind of a very slow burn, and at the start I was very tense and anxious, and I was like, oh, okay, this is really going to be scary, but there wasn't much scares. There was a bit, but there wasn't as much as I hoped for. I would have also loved to see more of a backstory as to how two of the girls got possessed. They touch on it, but they don't delve deep into it. And I'm a sucker for that sort of lore and backstory and, you know, demonic kind of stories like that. And I would have liked to see more of that, but it's not really explained. I also didn't really care for the two girls that much because we barely get to know them. It's like we see them, they join up together for 2 seconds, they go into the woods, and then all of a sudden they're possessed. We don't really get to see them as friends before that. Like, the parents don't even know that they're friends with each other, so it just kind of seems like two girls that just went to the woods together and got possessed, so we don't really care for them too much. And lastly, I just wasn't really satisfied with the ending. You know, this is meant to be the first movie in a new trilogy. I would have liked to kind of see what they were going to do with future sequels, but you know, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. The Exorcist Deceiver is coming out in 2025, so maybe it's going to be a follow-up to this. I'm not sure. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but when you see the ending, you probably are going to be left with a few questions as to how, what, why, and what's going to happen next. But overall, I do think this is a good movie. It's a good foundation for this new trilogy going forward, but I don't think it's fantastic. So I'm going to have to give The Exorcist Believer 3 stars, a 6 out of 10. You can go see it in cinemas now, and if you've seen it, let me know what you thought down below.